The distress beacon cut through the static like a knife through fog. Marcus Chun adjusted his scanner, triangulating the source somewhere in the ravine below. 3 days into his supply, ran to Outpost 7. And this was the last thing he needed. The signal pulsed again, desperate and raw. He descended the rocky slope with practiced caution, his boots finding purchase on loose stone. The twin suns of Kelver Prime beat down mercilessly, turning his environment suit into a personal sauna. Below, the ravine opened into a narrow canyon, its walls scarred by wind and time. That was when he heard it. A scream that made his blood run cold. Marcus broke into a run, his rifle swinging free from its shoulder mount. Around a bend in the canyon, he found the source. A figure hung suspended 3 meters off the ground, caught in a web of translucent filaments that glowed with a sickly green light. The trap hummed with barely contained energy, each strand pulsing in rhythm with an unseen power source. The trapped person was humanoid, but distinctly alien. Her skin bore a faint blue tint, and her eyes were too large, too dark. She wore the tattered remains of what might have been a flight suit. When she saw Marcus, those eyes went wide with something between hope and terror. "Please," she gasped, her voice surprisingly clear despite the obvious pain etched across her features. "The trap. It feeds on movement. Every struggle makes it tighten." Marcus circled the device carefully, his tactical mind assessing the threat. He recognized the design from intelligence briefings. Kryn hunting traps, illegal throughout council space, designed to capture and hold prey while slowly draining their bioelectric energy. Nasty pieces of work, and usually lethal within hours. "How long have you been here?" 6 hours. Maybe 7. Her breathing was labored, each word an effort. "My ship crashed. I was looking for help when I triggered it." Marcus scanned the trap's anchor points. 4 nodes embedded in the canyon walls, each one feeding power into the web. Standard Kryn design meant they would be shielded against energy weapons, but vulnerable to physical disruption. The problem was reaching them without triggering a defensive response. "I am going to get you out," Marcus said, already moving toward the nearest node. "But you need to stay absolutely still. Who are you?" "Marcus, human salvager." "And you are?" "Lyra. I am a courier for the Outer Rim Trading Company." She paused, then added with a weak laugh, "Or I was. Before my ship decided gravity was more fun than orbit." Marcus reached the first node and examined it closely. The device was about the size of his fist, its surface covered in alien script that seemed to writhe under his gaze. He pulled a shaped charge from his pack, a small one, just enough to crack the casing without bringing the whole canyon down on their heads. "Close your eyes," he warned. Setting the charge and backing away, the explosion was sharp and controlled. The node sparked once, then died. One strand of the web flickered and went dark. Lyra gasped as the pressure eased fractionally. 3 more, Marcus muttered. Already moving to the second position dot, it took 20 minutes to disable all 4 nodes, each one requiring careful placement and timing. When the final node died, the web collapsed entirely. Lyra fell, and Marcus lunged forward, catching her before she hit the ground. She was lighter than he expected, her frame slender despite obvious muscle definition. "Thank you," she breathed, clinging to him. "Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you walk?" Lyra tried to stand, then sagged against him. "My legs are numb. The trap drained more than I thought." Marcus did a quick medical scan with his wrist unit. Her readings were weak but stable. She would recover, given time and proper care. He looked up at the canyon walls, calculating distances and routes. "My transport is 2 kilometers north. Can you hold on that long? Do I have a choice?" He smiled despite the situation. "Not really." The journey back was grueling. Marcus carried Lyra most of the way, her weight distributed across his shoulders in a fireman's carry. She drifted in and out of consciousness, mumbling in a language he did not recognize. By the time they reached his transport, a battered cargo hauler that had seen better decades, both of them were exhausted. Marcus laid Lyra in the medical bay, a converted storage compartment that boasted a single autodock and enough supplies to handle basic trauma. The machine hummed to life, scanning her from head to toe, and began administering treatment. Nutrients, electrolytes, and a cocktail of repair nanites designed to work across species barriers. "You will be fine," Marcus assured her, though she was already asleep. "Just rest." He left her there and headed to the cockpit, planning to file a report with the nearest council station. But when he checked his communications array, he found it dead. Not damaged, dead, as in someone had deliberately fried the circuits. Marcus returned to the medical bay with growing suspicion. Lyra was awake now, sitting up despite the autodoc's protests. She looked much better, color returning to her blue-tinged skin, her eyes bright and alert. "You killed my comms," Marcus said flatly. Lyra had the grace to look embarrassed. "I had to. I am sorry, but I cannot let you report this." "Why not?" "Because I am not a courier." She met his gaze without flinching. "I am a refugee. The Kryn are hunting me, and if word gets out that I am here, they will come. They will kill everyone in their path to get to me." Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. "What did you do?" "I witnessed something I should not have. A deal between Kryn warlords and a council member. Arms trading, slave markets, things that would destroy reputations and start wars. They want me dead before I can testify. So you bring them here, to human space. I had nowhere else to go." Lyra's voice cracked. "My people will not protect me. The council will not believe me without proof I no longer have. You are my only chance." Marcus stared at her, weighing his options. He could force the issue, repair the comms, and make the call anyway. But looking at her, seeing the genuine fear and desperation in those alien eyes, he found he could not do it. "How many are hunting you?" "At least 6 ships. Maybe more. And you brought them to Kelver Prime, where there are 3 human settlements, and maybe 2,000 colonists total. I did not mean to crash here. I was trying to reach the jump gate, but they hit my drives." Lyra stood shakily, moving toward him. "Please, I know I have no right to ask, but please do not turn me in. Help me reach the gate, and I will disappear. You will never see me again." Marcus should have said no. Every logical part of his brain screamed at him to dump her at the nearest outpost and let the authorities handle it. But humans had not earned their reputation as the galaxy's stubborn protectors by following logic. "The gate is 4 days from here by standard drive," he said. "And if the Kryn are in system, they will be watching it." "I know, which means we will need to be clever." Lyra blinked. "We? You think I am letting you wander off alone? You would be dead in a day." Marcus moved to the cockpit controls, already plotting a course. "I know these systems better than any Kryn hunter. We will take the long way around, use the asteroid fields for cover, and approach the gate from the mining corridor. They will not expect that. Why are you helping me?" Marcus paused, considering the question. Why was he helping? Because she needed it. Because leaving her to die went against everything humans stood for. Because sometimes doing the right thing mattered more than doing the safe thing. Because somebody has to, he said simply. The journey took 6 days instead of 4. They dodged 2 Kryn patrol ships, hid in the rings of a gas giant for 18 hours while a hunter pack swept through the system, and survived a near-catastrophic engine failure that left them drifting in the void for half a day. Through it all, Lyra stayed close, helping where she could, learning human systems with surprising speed. On the 6th day, they made the jump. The gate accepted their credentials without question. And suddenly, they were in council space proper, surrounded by trade ships and patrol cruisers from a dozen different species. "I made it," Lyra whispered, staring at the view screen with wonder. "I actually made it." "You made it," Marcus confirmed. She turned to him, and there were tears in those large, dark eyes. "I do not know how to thank you. Just stay alive." "That is thanks enough?" Lyra nodded, then moved toward the airlock. But at the threshold, she paused. "If I testify, if I bring down these criminals, things will change. For you, for your people, for everyone. The Kryn will not forget this. Let them remember," Marcus said. "Humans do not abandon those in need. Not now, not ever." She smiled then, a brilliant expression that transformed her entire face. "Then I will remember too. When this is over, I am coming back. To properly thank you. I will be here." Lyra left, disappearing into the crowded station beyond. Marcus watched her go, already planning his return journey, already thinking about repairs and resupply. He had a feeling life was about to get very complicated. But as he guided his transport away from the gate, heading back toward Kelver Prime and home, Marcus found himself smiling. Humans had a saying about good deeds and roads to certain places. He suspected this particular good deed was going to lead somewhere far more interesting.